So let's begin in sitting, and as we come in to sit, make sure you've got what you need around you, including a nice herbal tea or cup, dare I say, normal tea or whatever it is you feel you need. So let's bring the fingertips out to the sides and feel that you can connect onto the finger pads. And let's start at the top of the head. So gently bring the left ear over to the left shoulder, but again, not like... You'll notice I'm not even going to bring the hand up. So we're just going to keep that connection into the fingers, up through the spine, resting into the shoulders, letting the breath come in and out. And then very slowly, as slow as you can, bring the head back to the center. And then gently let the right ear come over to the right shoulder. And feel all of that openness into the left side of the head and the neck. Soften into the left side. Really taking those few moments to tune into what's needed. Comes back to the center, drops the chin down towards the chest. And again, these movements are really, really slow. I always suggest that the smaller the bone, the slower the movement. So where we're working into the neck bones, just feeling we can take that really nice and slowly. And now lengthen back up through the crown of the head. Bring the hands to the knees. And we're going to do seated cat and cow. So I'm going to come around this way. Bring the hands onto the knees. Gently rounds the spine. So you might feel that you're going into that neck flick pose and rolling onto the sacrum. But feel that you can try and keep on the sitting bones, but just open the back of the body. And that might take you a little bit more into the base of the neck. Then next time you breathe in, lengthen up. Okay, now we're going to stay here and you're going to turn your head around towards the left. And then you're going to bring the head back to the center. And you're going to turn the head around towards the right. And then you're coming back to the center. And then you're breathing out and you're rounding your spine. Okay, and you're breathing in and you're lifting up. You're breathing out, you're turning your head towards the right. You're breathing in, you're coming back to the center. You're breathing out, you're turning your head towards the left. You're breathing in, you're coming back to the center. Good. Now we're going to bring our right arm, our right hand to our right shoulder, and we're going to circle into that right elbow. But as we do that, we want to imagine that that elbow extends beyond the length that it is. So we feel that, you know, it's almost like our arm is outstretched, but it's not, because we don't want to use the weight of the whole of the arm. We're just going to keep that movement going. But we want to really open into the right side of the body. Good. Now the next time we start to come around, we're going to extend forward through the arm, and then we're going to rotate the rib cage to take us around. So it's less pressure onto the shoulder. We're bringing the right hand down. Can we turn the right fingertips so they come towards us, but then bring the right hand onto the ground underneath the shoulder? Take the left hand to the right knee and feel that gentle twist. So it's almost like we've anchored into that right shoulder blade. Come back to the center, come underneath the right leg. So bring the right leg out, underneath the right leg moves us into the right hip. So taking a few moments to really go through the body. Good, now start to ease that movement, but circle into the ankle. Good, Good. Now go down into the heel, bring the hands around the ball of the foot and just gently lift the foot. Watch the shoulders here. Come into that bent knee so you feel you're bringing the thigh to the chest and you can lengthen up through the crown. I'm just going to whiz around from here because I want you to see what we're going to do next. You're going to bring the foot onto the ground. So the heel's in line with the hip. Your left hand comes onto the ground. You're going to use the ball of the right foot. Stand down into the ball. Come up through the knee. Come up through the hip. Keep letting the right arm drop down. Good. Breathing in and out. But this right hip is now off the ground. And you're really trying to lift the whole of the thigh out through the knee. Good. And then we're going to come back and around, and then we're going to come back into sit into cross-legged, and we're going to do that all onto the other side, left hand to left shoulder. And we're gently circling into there. I'm going to come around this way so you can feel that movement coming in. So again, even though our elbow is ending here, we're imagining that our elbow is kind of ending here. So we can really get into that rib cage and open through the armpit. Now for the last one, we're going to extend forward through the arms and we're going to come up. We're going to open out, we're going to bring, that left hand in and down. Where we can, turns the fingers, yeah? Stand down into the hand to come up through the arms. So that's not a pressing or pushing, it's a real anchoring. Brings the right hand around to the left knee and feel that rotation into the ribs. Lets the breath come in and out. Good, now we're going to come back to the centre. We're going to bring that left foot onto the ground. Hands come around the ball of the left foot. Lifts us up. You can extend away through the right leg or simply bring that right leg where it feels comfortable. Come up through the thigh, but keep that softness deep into the thigh. So don't feel like you've got to grip it to keep it there. Good, now brings it down, come underneath the knee. Let's bring that leg in and out a little bit more. And now let the foot come onto the ground. And remember you're using the ball of the foot, so it's like you're tipping the foot to let the weight go into the ball of the foot. And when we do that, lean into that, leaning over towards the right, coming over, letting the breath come in and out. Good. And now we're going to come back to the centre. Brilliant. You're going to come in, you're going to cross your legs over. You're going to go out through your arms and you're going to come forward as though you're giving someone a hug. And then let your hands come down onto the ground. So you only go as far as it feels good for you this morning, yeah? I find with this, sometimes it puts some pressure on my knee, so really listen to that. Good, now come back up through the spine, bring the hands so they come around again either side of the bottom, and it's that standing into the hands to lengthen the arms. So it's not necessarily a push forward through the chest, it's a lengthening up. Good, now we're going to start moving into sun salutation. So let's start heading over to all fours. Okay, you're coming over the knees. Before we move a little bit, before we move more into sun salutation, let's just curl that right toe under. Extend back through the right leg, really come forward through the breastbone, like we see the dog sometimes stretching in the morning. That kind of, really getting into it. Feeling the toe tip on the ground, but lifting up through the heel to bring us a little bit more into the hip. And letting the breath come in and out, softening into the knee. Good, brings that knee down to the ground, goes away now through the left leg onto that left toe tip. Coming forward through the chest, forward through the heart. Good, now brings the knee down. Let's come forward with the right foot, forward with the left foot. takes you into Uttanasana. And was talking about this the other day. When we first come into Uttanasana, the hips, no matter what we say, the hips end up behind the heels because we're stiff and we're tight. So we're just going to go with that this morning, yeah? Because by the end of it, the hips will be more forward. Take a deep breath in, go out through the arms, brings you all the way up. The hips lovely and ungripped, she says, and the hands come together and the thumbs come to the heart. Let's take just half a step back with the left foot, okay? And feel that you can roll back and forth through the feet. So you're going to lift the ball of the right foot, you're going to lift the heel of the left foot. You're going to keep that movement going from side, back and forth, yeah? Good. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring the feet onto the ground and we're going to lift up through the heels to really wake us up into the ankles and then drops the heels down to the ground. We're going to step forward with that back foot and we're going to come back with the right foot. And we're going to do that exact same movement again. So you're going to roll into that left heel to lift the ball of the foot. And then you're going to roll into the ball of the right foot to lift the heel. Yeah, keeping that movement coming backwards and forwards. Good. Now let the foot settle down. Good. Come up again and feel with that movement when you're going into the balls of the feet that it's like you let the weight go into the ball of the foot rather than feeling you've got to push up through your heels. Yeah. Good. Now drop the heels down into the ground, step forward. So hopefully now the ankles feel, everything feels a little bit more open. Let's move into Surya Namaskar. Big deep breath in, takes us up. Now as you come up, I'm just going to step back. Actually, I'm going to step forward. I'd like you to bring your fingertips like this above your head, yeah? So it's almost like that. Here's the church, here's the steeple, yeah? But feel that the arms rest into the shoulder sockets, the shoulder blades rest down to the hips. And then as you breathe out, keep the joints soft, bring the fingertips to the ground. Bring the hands to the shins and come halfway up. Bring the fingertips back down. Take a big step back through your left foot into your lunge pose. Now stay here for a moment. Really feel that right heel connects into the ground, the ball of the foot into the ground. Move forward through the breastbone, drops the left knee down to the ground, okay? Come up through both of the arms. Let's do a little bit more work onto the hip. Take the right thumb, bring the right thumb deep across the front of the hip socket, the forefingers around the glute. Let the left hand come down onto the ground. Rest down into that hip. Yeah. Use the weight of your hand. If the hip is tight, it's going to want to lift up. Use the weight in the hand to keep it releasing down. Now you're going to come back into that lunge pose. You're going to curl your left toe under, and you're going to come up through your left heel, and you're standing strong into your feet. But you can see I'm a little bit more gentle on that left leg. Yeah, there's still a bend in the left extended leg, but I'm going to lift up through the heel, and that's going to move me forward. Let the breath come in and out. Good. Now bring the right hand down to the ground. Now step back into your downward dog pose. Hopefully that right hip feels a little bit more different now. Again, use that connection, that weight into the balls of the feet. Gently bend your knees now. Come back into child's pose. Walk the hands forward, takes them wider. You know where we're going now. We're rounding our spine up into cat pose. And we're bringing the chest and the heart forward, forward, forward into cobra. Good. Stay with the right leg. Curl only the right toes under, only the right toes. Lifts you up through that right heel and stand down a little more into the hands. And then bring the right knee back down to the ground. Come back into all fours. Come forward now with your left foot. Feel that left foot firm into the ground. Big deep breath in, up you come through the arms. Good. Breathing out, hands come down to the ground. Left thumb into the left hip and thigh socket. And really relax now across. Your thumb might even be on your hip flexor. Relax across the front of the hip. Breastbone's coming forward. Curl the right toe under. Come up through the right heel. Oh, yeah. Breathing in and out. Oh. Now let that left hand, come down to the ground. As you step forward with the right foot, you can let the toe chip trail. Take a breath in. Now you want to go more into your heels because that connects you into the back of the body, brings the fingertips together. Breath is coming in and out. Okay, we're going to go straight from here. Breathing out, coming forward and over. Good. Now bring your hands to your shins. Fingertips come back down to the ground. Big step back through the right foot. Now stay here for a moment. Feel the connection down through the left foot into the left ball of the foot, into the left heel. That lifting up through the right heel to move and shift the spine forward. Drop the right knee down to the ground. Big deep breath in, into the feet. Shifts the whole of the spine over the pelvis, takes you up. Good. Breathe out, hands to the ground, left hand, thumb into that hip socket. Curls the right toe under, come up through the right heel. Woof. Breathing in and out. Come forward through the chest, through the heart. What this also does is it's bringing that thigh parallel to the ground, yeah? Good, now brings the left hand to the ground, steps you back into your downward dog pose. Really connecting you into the balls of the feet. In your dog pose, you want to try and be in a place where you could lift your toes as well. So that takes you more into the back of the ball of the foot. The knee is still soft. So you're really using a good spread into the weight rather than pushing into the toe joints. Gently bend your knees, comes back into child's pose. Walk the hands forward, takes them wider. Rounds the spine up into your cat pose, brings the chest and the heart forward into cobra. Keep that softness into the hips. Use the hands in the same way you stood into the hands in sitting. Curl the left toe under and lift up through that left heel. Keep the breastbone forward. Breath is coming in and out. Drops the knees to the ground, comes back into all fours, and now come forward with the right foot. We're really going into the movement. Big deep breath in, up you come. Good, hands are coming down, left hand to the ground, right thumb into right hip, let it rest there for a moment. It's like we're bringing the body back together. Curl the left toe under, come up through the left heel, keep that strong standing into the feet, and then we move up through the heel. Breath is coming in and out. Now you're coming into your Uttanasana from here, so you really want to use the right heel as much as you can. Yeah, that heel that's on the ground. Fingertips to the ground. Step forward with the left foot. Good. And then take a deep breath in, brings you all the way up. So when you use the heels, you're not using the knee joints, yeah? Let's come back into that little movement that we did where we came back with the left foot. So Parsvottanasana, I use this a lot with Ben when he's backward, yeah? So we used something that he could put his hands on when he came down, but what we're going to do is we're going to bring the hands to the sacrum to open us through the front of the body. The knees soften, and as we're coming here, we want to feel that we're trying to broaden outwards through the thighs and through the hips. So we want to keep the feet as they are, but we want to keep that movement outwards. Let the pelvis roll over the thigh. Keep the softness into the knees. Bring the eye line down to the ground. We had a lot of debate in one of the classes here about where the position of the head goes, because a lot of the time we don't realize that we're looking up. So if you try and bring your eye line towards your right big toe, that will help. Now feel you can stand down a little more into your heels. Keep the spine coming forward. Now you're going to bring your hands down onto your thighs, and you're going to be quite firm here. You're going to stroke up through the outer edges of your thighs, yeah? So you're going to do that movement here. I know my head is not in a good position because I'm kind of checking, yeah? Now you're going to bring both of your hands round this right thigh here, and you're going to feel like you really bring it up into the hip and into the thigh socket, yeah? And keep that movement coming forward. Good, now take a deep breath in, come up through the spine, okay? That right leg should feel really fixed into the ground. So the breath comes in, we're lifting all the way up, that's beautiful, guys. Go out through the arms, hands are coming together, you're gonna come up through that left knee. okay? And you're going to rotate into the left ankle. Good. Now, if your balance permits it, what you're going to do is you're going to gently bring that left heel back and let the knee drop down, okay? So we're not going into any sort of full Lord of the Fish back bend, Lord of the Dance back bend, but what we want to feel is that this left thigh could drop down slightly out of the hip socket, yeah? Good, then we're going to release that, we're going to come up, bring the hands together into Namaste, foot to the shin, opens you out through the hip. Breath is coming in and out. Think about the heel, think about the ball of the foot. That's standing down, that lifting up. Good, and now let the foot come down onto the ground. Let's do that onto the other side. So come back through that right foot, hands to the sacrum to give us the openness through the shoulders. Because again, it's this, you know, where we've been sitting, I'm going to be honest, I've been sitting around watching a lot more box sets. So this comes in, when it's cold, this comes in. So hands to the sacrum, shoulders down towards the pelvis, chest and heart lengthen us forward into the crown of the head. Go into the heels so there's less pressure through the knees. Maybe you even feel a ripple into the ball of the foot a little bit more now. Keep coming forward through the chest and the heart. Let the breath flow. Eyes towards that left big toe. Hands come to the outer thighs. Really stroke up. Maybe you can even find that IT band, yeah? Now bring your hands, both of them, around that left leg and come up through that left thigh. But as you're doing that, you're standing down into the left foot. Hands to the sacrum. Keep that chest and heart lengthening forward. Good. Now you're going to swing your arms forward and you're going to come up through your spine. Breaths coming in and out. Beautiful. Hands come out. Good. Brings the hands together. Come up through that right knee now. Rotate into the right ankle. Keep standing down into that left foot, yeah? Because that left foot's in a really good place for the next movement. Now you're going to swing-ish. Bring the heel back, yeah? The knee's going straight down to the ground. The weight of the right foot is in the hand. So this is also going to open you through the shoulder. Good. And now we're going to come back up. Hands together, foot to the shin, opens you out through the hip. Now, if you wobbled at any point during that, don't worry about it, yeah. Good. Now bring the feet down to the ground. From here, bring your feet as wide as your yoga mat. I'll turn around so you can see me better, yeah? So your little toes should be on the width, yeah, of the yoga mat. Good. Bring the hands to the sacrum. Now really feel your pelvis is a bowl here, yeah? And that you're going to tip the bowl over. The knees are soft, but you're still keeping that connection into the heel. Very often when we come forward, we want to go really forward, yeah? So feel you can go down into the heel because that's going to bring you either side of the sacrum here, yeah? Now, if you can, let your fingertips come down to the ground. Now, if you're really stiff, what you're going to find here is you're going to want to really bend your knees, okay? And we want to kind of avoid that a little bit. So if you can grab a block or a chair, grab it, yeah? Because in grabbing that, in using this, look at me, I'm using the props this morning. In doing that, you're giving your body feedback and space. You're going to keep your left hand onto the block or onto the ground or onto the chair. You're looking for a triangle here with your feet and your hand. You're taking your right hand to your sacrum and you're gently rotating inwards. Breath is coming in and out and you're lengthening forwards. Nice big deep breaths. Good, now you're going to bring the hand back down, the right hand comes down, left hand comes to the sacrum, you stand down into the right hand, so you feel that length up through the arm, through the shoulder, gently takes you in, breath is coming in and out. Now gently takes the hand down, soften both of the knees, take a breath in, brings you all the way up through the spine. Hands come together, thumbs to the heart, step the feet in so they come into being hip distance apart. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to come into our warrior two pose. So we're going to lift up, we've already done this, lifts us up through the left leg. Really stand down firm into that right heel, into the right ball of the foot, open out through the knee, because now we're going to start bringing in all of the work that we've done, yeah? The right kneecap's in line with the two middle toes. The knee, at this point in time, we don't want going beyond the ankle yet. We want to keep it here. We get that strong movement back into the thigh. Remember, you've done this, you've done all of this, yeah? Now we're going to broaden it out through the rib cage. And this is where we come into the work that we've done with that. We want to feel that we've opened the ribs, that the right ribs can go forward, that the left ribs can go back, yeah? What we want to really avoid in Warrior Two is that sense of leaning in, because that's going to give you a slight shearing on that left hip. So by doing that, if you go a little bit more into that left little toe side of the foot, that's going to help you, and that's also going to make you feel you're broadening out more through your hips. Excuse me. Let's bring the right arm onto the right thigh and move the spine. Don't worry about bringing the arm too much over the head. Yep, feel that you can move the spine, that you can lift up through the ribs. Good, now keep that length from the left little toe up into the left armpit and gently glide the left arm over. Keep a softness into the elbow. Maybe even let the hand drape a little bit. Breathing in and out. Now, sometimes as well, if we're tight, this happens, yeah? What we want to try and do is open out through the ribs. So we want to be able to just turn our eyes, not even our head, just our eyes, and be able to see the outer edge of our arm quite easily. Good. Now you want to use that left foot a little bit more on that right heel, so you're not pushing into the knee, and the left hand comes onto the thigh. And again, we move the spine first, then we move the arm around the spine. Relax that right arm. Breathing in and out. Stand a little firmer into the feet. Now, if you feel you've warmed up a little bit more, you're going to bring the right hand down to the inside of the right foot. If you feel that's a bit much today, then you keep the arm onto the thigh. You're taking the left hand to the sacrum. That's as far as we're taking it today. Because again, what we want is that openness through the rib cage, yeah? So notice how that feels. It can be really strong on the lower back. Good, left hand's coming onto the ground. You're walking yourself around into that wider bend, yeah? So you turn the right heel out now, chest and heart lengthening forward. Because you're wider, should be a bit easier to get down a bit lower. If you can, now come onto the whole of the palm and lift the chest and the heart forward. Knees soften into the heel, into the ball of the foot. Good, walks the hands to the right foot again, turn the right foot back in, okay? You're coming up into Warrior Two, you're taking a breath in, you're using your feet, you're coming up through the left arm, you're going out through the right arm, so there's that real movement into the shoulders. Good, you're going to bring your hands together, your thumbs to your heart. Can we lift that back heel? Spirals us around. Now, can you bend the left knee? Yeah, breath is coming in and out. That's going to really take you into that hip flexor. And just like the pose we did before, tree, we want to feel that thigh drop out of the hip. You're coming forward and over, okay? And then you're going to step forward with the left foot. Big deep breath in, takes the spine forward and up. Hands come together and the thumbs come to the heart. Let's do that one onto the other side. Come up through the right leg, opens you out through the right hip, yeah? Right kneecap in line, sorry, left kneecap, beg my pardon, left kneecap in line with the two middle toes. Watch the positioning of that right foot. You're going heel to heel or heel to arch. This is like the real Iyengar cues here, okay? We avoid that movement. Yeah, we keep the knee and the ankle completely in line with each other. And again, you're dropping down into the heel. So that is going to open you in the hip here, and it's going to take all the pressure off of the knee. Big deep breath in, broadens you out through the ribs, out through the arms. Really feel the whole of the shoulder and the arms sitting onto the rib cage. Go into the right little toe side of the foot a tiny bit more so you get that sense of broadness out through the hips, yeah? Left ribs go forward, right ribs move back. Real broad breaths, yeah? Left arm onto left thigh, and you're coming up through that right arm, through the side of the spine, but don't take the right arm over the head just yet. Go a little bit more into the right little toe, and then maybe see, does the arm want to come over a little bit more? So you're really moving from the spine. Breaths coming in and out. Notice, are you leaning around? Can you keep that openness through the ribs? Breathe in, breathe out, strong into the feet here, forward into the crown. Breaths in and out of the body. Good. Now go down into your heels, down into your heels. So there's no need to clench the buttocks to come up. Right arm to the thigh, up through the left arm, down through the tailbone. Breathing in and out. Good. Now this time, can we take the left hand down to the ground? Let's bring that right hand straight onto the sacrum. Yeah. If the left hand doesn't want to come down, don't push it. Rotate through your rib cage so you get that openness. This can feel tricky, yeah, because if you're moving the rib cage, you're going to really come into that right hip. You can, that's what I mean, yeah. Woo, this can really shift and open into the heels, into the balls of the feet. Lengthen now forward through the chest and the heart. Oh, good. Now into the heels, into the balls of the feet. Try not to grip the bum. Good. Up you come. Brilliant. Now from here, you're going to bring the foot in and we're going to come forward and over. So it's that real rolling over of the pelvis, yeah? Breathing in and out. Drop into the heels, drop into the balls of the foot. We almost want to use this as a little bit of that restorative pose between. Breathing in and out. Good. Now gently walk the hands back. Rotate that left foot back in. Okay, walk the hands to the left foot, into the feet, up through the right arm, up through the left arm. Takes you up. Now really feel there's a broadening out through the body now, yeah? Good. Brings the hands together. Lift the back heel. You're going to pivot onto the ball of the foot and you're going to bend that right knee. Breath is coming in and out. Good. Now from here, we're bringing the palms down to the ground. We're going to step back now with that left foot. Elbows soften, knees soften. Pad the feet so you find the position that you need to be in. Really stand down into the balls of the feet. That should move the thighs up into the hip. Give you that deeper rotation through the pelvis. Breath is coming in and out. Good. Now gently bend your knees, come back into child's pose. Rest you into child's pose. Okay, we're going to come back into sun salutation now. Hopefully all of that has really begun to shift us. So come up into all fours, come forward with your left foot, forward with your right foot. Stand you down into the feet, big deep breath in, all the way up you come. Hands come together, thumbs to the heart. Let's go. Big deep breath in all the way up. Breathing out, you're coming forward and over. Hands to your shins, halfway up. Fingertips back down. Big step back through your left foot into lunge pose. Left knee to the ground. Let's do 3 breaths here. Breathe in and up you come. Breathe out and down you come. Watch the back here, yeah? Come back to that idea of the pelvis as a bowl. It tips and it rolls backwards and forwards, yeah? Last breath. Good. Palms to the ground, okay? Can we come up into a 3-legged dog or a normal dog? It's completely about what you feel you need this morning. Brings the foot to the ground, gently bends the knees, comes back into your child's pose. Take a moment in child's pose and feel that length into the spine. Walk the hands forward, takes them wider. Rounds the spine up into cat pose and brings the chest and the heart forward into cobra. Go to the little finger, going to the thumb. Really move that spine forward. Curl the toes under. Okay, start to come back. Be right onto the toe tip. Right onto the toe tip, yeah? Good. Now roll down through the foot onto the ball of the foot and then roll up onto the back of the ball of the foot. So all of that movement comes from the foot. Can you come forward with the left foot, whether that comes up and then forward, or you step the foot forward, or you come into all fours and come forward with the left foot from there. Right knee down to the ground, strength into the feet, up you come. Breathing out and coming down. So that last way we came up with the toes and then into the ball of the foot and then into the downward dog. When we really wake the feet up, it gives us a lot more mobility throughout the day. Fingertips to the ground steps us into your forward bend. Hands to your shins halfway up. Fingertips back down. Big deep breath in. Out and up through the spine. Hands together. Thumbs to the heart. Breath comes in. Up we come. Breathing out, forward and over. Hands to your shins halfway up. Fingertips back down. Big step back through your your right foot. Beg my pardon, sorry guys, through your right foot. Feel that connection down into your left heel. I got so into my left foot then, I said the wrong foot. Right knee down. Pelvis is a bowl, yeah? You're tipping it back. And now you're tipping it forward. Tipping it back. And tipping it forward. Last one. Tipping it back. And tipping it forward. Palms come down to the ground. Sweep up now if you can into a 3-legged dog. If not, you stay with what is for your body this morning. Breath is coming in and out. Good. Now brings the foot down to the ground. Gently bends the knees. Takes you back into your child's pose. Walk your hands forward. Bring them wider. Round your spine into cat pose. Chest and heart coming forward, forward, forward into cobra. Good. Now we're going to come back into all fours and we're going to go right onto the tips of the toes. Walk back. Now start to roll down into the feet, roll back over into the ball of the foot. So you end up right onto the back of the ball. Relax the knees, stand down into the ball of the foot to lift you up more into the thighs, up more into the hips. So you feel that the legs lengthen. Let the weight pour into the left foot, come up through the right leg. Now bring that right knee forward, put the foot on the ground between the hands, or come into it, all fours, whichever way works. Left knee down to the ground, got it right that time. Into the right heel, takes you back through the leg into the hip. Breathe out and down you come. Pelvis is your bowl, yeah? You're tipping it up and you're bringing it down. You're tipping it up and you're bringing it down. Let's just do one more here because it feels quite nice. Tipping it up and tipping it down. Good. Now step forward into forward bend. Good. Hands to your shins. Fingertips back down. Big deep breath in. Brings you all the way up. Good. Bring the hands together and the thumbs to the heart. Good. We're going to start coming downwards now. So let's come into Uttanasana. Keep the knees soft. Notice how it feels from when we first did it this morning. Yeah, hopefully the hamstrings have lengthened, their hips can move us a bit more forward to take the spine a little bit more forward. Yeah. Take about half a step back with your left foot. Now, you're probably not going to get the left heel down to the ground. Yeah, so you keep that left heel lifted, keep the spine coming forward. I'm on the backs of my fingers, so I've got that L shape, yeah? Now that's really opening the back of the right leg and keeping the chest and the heart coming forward. I can feel a lot going on all the way around the right hip. Now bring that left foot forward, yeah? Take a step back with the right foot. Don't worry about getting the ball of the foot on the ground. Stand strong into that left foot. Keep bringing the chest and the heart forward. Good. Now steps forward with the back foot. Gently bends the knees, palms to the ground, back into your downward dog pose. Just to take you into the sacrum either side. Good. Now bend your knees completely, comes back into your child's pose. Good. Come back up through the spine. Hips coming over to the right, legs coming forward. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of rock the baby. So we're going to come underneath the right knee. Take hold of the right foot with the left hand, and the right hand's going to support the knee, okay? And we're going to move the leg like this. Now, eventually, what we want to be able to do is to start easing it around. The full version of the pose would be to hold the leg and to rock it like that. If you've got the movement to go there, go there. I quite like doing it like this. Good. Now you're going to bring your right hand onto the right ball of the foot, the left hand out to the ground, and you're going to come out through the heel and up through the leg. Now you can still see there's a bend in the knee. This is combining a little bit of what we did at the start. In the same way you stood down into your hands, can you stand down into your sitting bones now and lift up through the chest and the heart? And imagine the whole of the back of the body just resting down, sliding down towards the ground. Go into the back of that left heel, bring the right foot over the leg, spirals you around, left elbow round right knee, right hand to the ground, chest and heart coming forward and around with the ribs. Good. Come back to the center. Come all the way around. Right hand to right foot. You're going back out again through that right heel. Good. Brings the heel to the ground, lengthen the way through the leg. Next week, we take that on further. Come underneath. Yeah, so, sorry, bring that left heel in, left hand to left knee, right hand to left foot, and you're lifting and you're bringing it in and out. So you're doing this roughly as long as it feels that you're oiling into that hip. And really acknowledge that the sides of the body are very different, yeah? Feels a lot different for me to move on this side than on the other side. Then we're going to bring the left hand to the left foot and come up through the leg, yeah? Now we don't want to bring it out too much like that. We want to feel we're extending away through the heel, and then imagine the back of the body is soft. It's almost like a waterfall going down into the ground, and you can really come up through the breastbone, through the chest and through the heart. Good. Now you want to keep that upward movement and bring the foot over the right thigh and then spiral around, elbow around the knee, left hand onto the ground. Keep that lift up through the chest and through the heart. Because you've already built that length into the spine, so you're going to get a bit more movement through the ribs. This is why, when we can, getting the length into the spine is transformative in the practice. Now comes back to the centre, left hand, left foot out and away through the heel, heels to the ground. Bend the knees the tiniest little bit, yeah? Go out through the arms and out through the ribs. You're really taking everything outwards. You're breathing out, you're coming forward and over. Lengthen the chest and the heart forward. Now feel here that the whole of the back of the legs, the back of the heels, want to drop down, but it's not a collapsing down, yeah? It's like they release away and take the bones with them. Good. Now you're going to come up through the spine and you're going to walk forward on those bum heels, which we really should have found now, okay? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. Come into sit into cross-legged, into the little toe, out through the arms. Okay, we did this at the start. It's always great to have a few postures. Come forward and over. But you have a few postures that you come back to that you did at the start, so you notice how it might feel different. Good, now you're going to roll back. Now, as you roll back, hands to the knees, okay? You're going to free up the knees, and you're going to feel you gather the thighs down deep into their hips. Bring the feet together, bring the knees together, let the heels relax. But now gently make those little circling movements. And then take that circling around the other way. Good. Now the left foot's coming onto the ground. Right heel's extending up towards the ceiling. And you're feeling like you're standing the whole foot, the whole leg up towards the ceiling. You're bringing the leg down. And even as you're bringing the leg down, you're still standing away through the foot. Now you're imagining I've got the back of your heel and I'm gently lengthening the leg away from the hip as the heel comes down into the ground. And you're taking a big deep breath in and you're coming over through the right arm. Letting the breath come in. Good, now brings the arm down the side, brings the foot in, okay. Gently lift the knees again, hands to the knees, gathers you down through the thighs, gently circles. And let yourself circle them both ways. Good. Now you're bringing your right foot onto the ground. You're extending up and away through your left heel. And you're really standing up like you're taking, it's the opposite of what we did where we brought the thigh in. You're lifting up, but the back of the hips are still on the ground. You're bringing the heel down, but you're still extending away through the leg. Good. Now you're taking a breath in, you're coming over through the arm. And that gently brings the arm down the side of the body, bends the knee, brings the foot to the ground. And then just let yourself have a little roll. We're not even going into a full twist. We're feeling like we're rolling into one side of the sacrum, and then we're rolling into the other side of the sacrum. Now from here, it's your choice, okay? I'm going to come up into sitting, even if you come up into sitting for a few moments, okay? We're going to come in, we're going to do a little bit of breath work. I'm still going to talk you through it. It's a very gentle breath. You can do it lying down if you want to, okay? I'm going to come in a little bit closer. Okay, so if you can sit into cross-legged or kneeling, however is the most comfortable for you, then do that. Okay, the breath we're going to practice is Bhramari breath, so it's a B breath. So basically what I'm doing is I'm also going to get you to make a little sound, which is really good for clearing the airways. Okay, so you take a breath in and the lips gently come together. And then as you breathe out, the noise is so it's that little vibration between the lips. You could perhaps put a piece of paper between the lips, yeah? So we're going to do this together. So we're going to take a breath in. And as we breathe out, let the breath come in. Breathing out. Breathing in. So carry on going with it, but what I'd like you to notice is that little vibration that you feel into the head. So it's like a much gentler version of the Kapalabhati breath, where we work towards clearing the mind, clearing the head. It's a very calming breath. It encourages us to really deepen the out breath. So we're going to do one more. And then notice how it feels for you to sit or lie, whichever you are doing. Yeah? Sitting or lying. What's the effect? What's the effect for you? How does the body feel now after the practice? How does your body feel as you lie or as you sit? How does your breath feel? Stay with the breath for a few more moments. So the joy of practicing at home is that if you feel you want to be in Shavasana for a little longer, you can be. And tune into that this morning. What is needed? If you feel it's time for you to move, to go about your day, roll onto your right side if you're lying down and gently bring yourself up to sit. And we'll finish the session quietly, just in case you decide you want to hang out in Shavasana a little bit longer. So bring your hands together, your thumbs to your heart. Thank your body for its practice this morning. And wherever you are, give yourself a little hug. So I think you're all brilliant getting here on a cold morning. Have a lovely weekend. Stay warm. Biggest love. Namaste.